Listen, healing ain't a hashtag, and it ain't a weekend retreat with pretty pillows. Healing's work. It's getting up when the bed's the only place that feels safe. It's taking one slow step when your feet want to stay stuck in the mud. And most of all, it's learning how to let go of the things that keep pulling you back. See, pain stays real if you keep holding the thing that caused it. You can wash the wound every day and still never heal if your hand keeps pressing the scab. Let go. I remember sitting in some of the darkest rooms of my life, hauling around old hurts like they were trophies. Look at me, I thought. I survived. But surviving and living are two different things. Surviving says, that happened to me. Living says, I learned from it and moved on. When I finally stopped telling the story that kept me small and started telling the story that made me stronger, my whole world changed. Letting go don't mean you forget. It means you stop letting those moments write the rest of your book. Here's the deal. Forgiveness is not permission for the other person to keep hurting you. Forgiveness is your receipt, proof you paid the price for your own peace. Don't confuse forgiving with being weak. Forgiving is power. It's taking back the wheel. It's saying, I won't let what happened to me decide my destiny. And sometimes letting go means cutting cords. Not because you hate the person, but because you love yourself enough to stop the cycle. You can pray for them and still protect your heart. Healing requires release. That's not a cute line. That's a survival manual. You can't keep one hand clutching yesterday's hurt and expect the other hand to pick up tomorrow's blessings. It don't work that way. You keep dragging the same pain behind you like an anchor, wondering why the ship ain't moving. Letting go is the lever that lifts the weight. It's the first step from surviving to living. When you keep replaying the wound, you're essentially giving the wound a job to run your life. You hired it. You promoted it. Now it's the boss. Change the payroll. Fire that hurt from the CEO position and put yourself back in charge. Letting go ain't forgetting or pretending it didn't matter. It's not erasing the memory like it never existed. It's acknowledging what happened, taking the lesson, and deciding you won't let that moment dictate the rest of your story. Think about folks who tell you their life got ruined by one bad season. I'll tell you what ruined it. Their refusal to close the door on that season. They kept open house for grief and bitterness like props in a museum. Close the museum. Turn the lights off. Move on. You got to stop giving energy to the replay. Energy breeds endurance. If you feed the hurt, it gets stronger. Starve it. Feed something else, gratitude, work, faith, service. Those are the foods of freedom. And don't confuse letting go with being soft. It takes strength to release what you loved, what you trusted, what cut you deep. It takes courage to say, I will not carry this anymore. That courage looks like boundaries, like walking away from what keeps you in pain, like refusing to engage in conversations that reopen the wound. Sometimes releasing is not a dramatic exit. Sometimes it's a quiet daily decision to refuse to ruminate. Make that decision over and over until it becomes reflex. There's also a practical side to release. Do something physical to mark the spiritual choice. Write the hurt down, fold the paper, and burn it in your mind. Unfollow the account that keeps your spirit in chains. Cancel the habit that invites the same ghost back. Call a counselor, pray harder. Tell God you're ready to let Him heal you, but be ready to do the work. Healing isn't a ceremony, it's discipline. It's waking up and choosing life again, even when your heart wants to rewind. Finally, understand that God can't fully bless a heart that's holding on to what broke it. He'll give you the tools, the people, the opportunities. but you got to open your hand. When you let go, you make space. Space for joy, for purpose, for new relationships that honor you. Space for God to repurpose your pain into power. So make the move, release the hurt, live your life, and watch how the Lord fills the empty places with something better than what was lost. Your future's waiting. Don't make it stand in line behind yesterday. Healing means forgiving, and let me tell you, forgiveness ain't for them, it's for you. People think when you forgive, you're saying, it's all good. No, it ain't all good. What they did hurt. It cut you. It changed you. It broke pieces of you. But forgiveness is saying, you no longer control the thermostat of my life. See, when you hold on to unforgiveness, it's like drinking poison and hoping they die. You're the one carrying the bitterness, the sleepless nights, the heaviness in your chest. They might be out there living their life while you stuck, replaying the betrayal over and over. Forgiveness frees you, not them. Now don't get it twisted. Forgiveness doesn't mean you let them back in your life. You don't have to open the same door you close just because you forgave somebody. You can forgive and still keep your distance. Forgiveness is internal. Reconciliation is optional. Stop thinking you owe toxic people access because you let go of the grudge. No, you set yourself free, you gave yourself peace, and you keep moving forward without dragging that dead weight. Forgiveness also means you trust God's justice more than your own revenge. You stop plotting ways to make them feel what you felt, and you let God handle that classroom. The Bible says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, and God's grading system. It's better than anything you could cook up. You release them, you free your heart, and you get back to your assignment in life. When you forgive, you stop being defined by the hurt and start being defined by the healing. You step out of victim mode and into victory mode. Every scar you carry starts looking like proof that you survived, not evidence that you're still bleeding. Forgiveness doesn't erase what happened, but it writes a new ending to your story. One where you win. So if you want healing, start with forgiveness. Not because they deserve it, but because you do. You deserve peace. You deserve joy. You deserve to breathe without that weight on your chest. Forgiveness ain't weakness. It's one of the strongest moves you'll ever make. Healing means accepting that the past cannot be changed. That's a tough pill to swallow, but it's the truth. A lot of folks stay stuck because they keep rewinding the same tape, wishing it would play out differently. They say, if only I had done this, if only they hadn't done that. But let me tell you something, if only ain't never healed nobody. The past is permanent. You can't rewrite it. You can't edit it. You can't swap out the characters. What happened, happened. Healing begins when you finally stop trying to change yesterday and start working on tomorrow. See, when you live in regret, you're fighting a battle you can't win. It's like trying to wrestle with your own shadow. You're going to get tired, but you ain't never going to beat it. That regret will drain your energy, your creativity, and your joy. It'll keep you looking backward when your blessings are sitting forward. Healing comes when you say, I can't go back, but I can go forward. I can't undo it, but I can outgrow it. Acceptance is not approval. Don't confuse the two. Accepting the past doesn't mean you're okay with what happened. It means you refuse to let it rule your present. You might have gone through betrayal, heartbreak, loss, or disappointment. And yeah, it shaped you, but it doesn't own you. The past is a chapter, not the whole book. When you accept it, you turn the page. You stop rereading the same sentence and finally start writing the rest of your story. You know what acceptance really does? It gives you your power back. Because as long as you're living in, What if you're powerless? But when you say, this is what happened, but this is not where I'm staying, you reclaim authority over your life. You stop being a prisoner of your yesterday and start being a leader of your tomorrow. Let me tell you this, God already factored your mistakes, your pain, and your losses into His plan. What hurt you was real, but it was also preparation. What you thought broke you was actually building you. And when you accept that, healing rushes in like fresh air after a storm. So stop fighting the past, it's already written. Healing starts the moment you accept it, close that door, and walk through the next one with your head held high. Because the best chapters of your life haven't even been written yet. Boundaries are love for yourself. Don't ever forget that. A lot of folks hear the word boundary and think, oh, that sounds cold. But boundaries ain't cold, they're clarity. They tell people how to treat you without you having to beg for respect. If you don't set rules for how people get to use your time, your heart, and your energy, the world will write the rules for you. And those rules usually come with late fees. Boundaries are saying, this is what I will allow, and this is what I won't, and then living by it. That's not selfishness, that's stewardship. You were given one life, one assignment, one set of gifts. If you keep letting everybody dip into that account without deposit, you'll be bankrupt in the things that really matter. Look, I know how guilty that can feel. You were raised to be nice, to show up, to carry family burdens, and sometimes that training becomes a trap. People guilt trip you into availability and then act surprised when you run out of gas. Don't be surprised. Train them differently. Say no with love. Say, I can't right now, without a long apology. Give your yes meaning. People who respect you will adjust. People who don't will complain, and their complaining just told you who they were all along. When you set a boundary, you're not excluding people from your life. You're protecting the quality of the life you've got. You're making sure that when you do show up, you can bring your best, not your leftovers. Boundaries also teach people how to love you. Some folks simply don't know better until you model it. If you let people walk all over you, they'll think that's the menu. Put the sign up, respect served here. Don't be afraid to kick out toxic patterns. That might mean taking a break from a relationship, limiting topics of conversation, or refusing to be the family therapist who never gets paid in appreciation. And yes, that might sting. People will call you names, selfish, changed, hard, but watch who sticks around. The ones who truly matter will say, I respect that, and they'll show up differently. Boundaries aren't rigid prison bars, they're a garden fence. They keep the critters out and let your flowers breathe. They let you rest, create, pray, and plan. They free you to be the person God gifted you to be. And when you practice them, something beautiful happens. Your peace starts to compound. You make better choices. You attract people who are serious about life. Your time stops getting stolen by drama and starts getting invested in destiny. So do the hard thing, decide what matters, then defend it. Make your boundaries small at first. Wake up time, prayer time, work blocks. Then protect them like rent's due on them. Speak them clearly, enforce them consistently. And don't waste energy defending them to every critic. Your life is worth the discipline. Love people, yes, but love yourself enough to set the limits that let you love well. Healing is a journey, not a one-time event. A lot of folks think healing is a switch. You wake up one morning, say, I'm over it, and that's it. But let me tell you, life don't work like that. Real healing is more like learning to walk again after being knocked down. Some days you're strong, some days you limp, and some days you crawl. But as long as you keep moving forward, you're still healing. Don't confuse progress with perfection. Just because you still feel the sting of the past sometimes doesn't mean you ain't growing. It means you're human. See, when God heals you, He don't just snap His fingers and erase your memory. He allows you to remember so that memory can become your ministry. Your scar becomes your story. What hurt you yesterday can help somebody tomorrow. That's why you can't rush the process. Healing is layers. Healing is tears. Healing is forgiving somebody who never apologized. Healing is walking into the same place that broke you and realizing it don't own you anymore. The biggest mistake people make is comparing their healing timeline with somebody else's. Oh, she moved on quick. Why can't I? He got over his divorce. Why am I still struggling? Stop. Healing don't come with a stopwatch. Everybody's pain is personal, and everybody's healing is paced by their own spirit. Don't let comparison steal your patience. What matters is that you keep showing up for yourself, day after day, choice after choice, step after step. And understand this, healing is not weakness. Some people will make you feel like you should just toughen up, push it down, and keep moving. But suppressing ain't healing. That's just storage. If you bury pain alive, it will dig itself back up at the worst time. Healing means you face it, you process it, and you release it. That's courage, not weakness. You don't heal by pretending nothing happened. You heal by deciding what happened won't control you anymore. So give yourself permission to take your time. If you need prayer, pray. If you need therapy, go. If you need distance, create it. If you need rest, take it. Healing is not selfish, it's necessary. Because when you're whole, you love better, work better, laugh better, and dream bigger. And let me tell you something. God can use a broken vessel, but He shines even brighter through one that's been healed. Look, healing ain't neat, it ain't quick, and it sure ain't easy. But here's the promise. When you let go of what hurt you, you make room for what's next. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Set your boundaries, not to punish, but to protect the person God put inside you. Accept what's been done so you can stop wrestling with shadows and start stepping into the light. Keep showing up for the work of your own heart, day after day, with patience and faith. Your scars got a story to tell, and your wounds can become your wisdom. So stop rehearsing the pain and start practicing the life you were meant to live. Stand tall, breathe deep, and move forward, free, whole, and ready.